a spring morning sketch of a Larkspur white flower stalk. With all of my sketches, whether I'm doing it with pyrography or pencil or charcoal, I always lightly sketch the outline of where I intend to draw. Now I have my subject matter to the right, but I'm also going to only add those things I want to add. I like the clusters. I don't want all of them, but all of this to me is going to show up here in this sketch. Now I'm transitioning into more definitive sketching. The first one's a very light outline, and as you can see, I now get into a little more definition, and I just am so eager for that charcoal. I love it because I get to play with the depth of the line, and I always feel like it's almost a sculpture when I start to apply the charcoal. So I get to find out where my light source is and where my dark areas will reside, where my light will come forth. And just the same later on when I will get my eraser and do a light sculpture, but right now is a dark sculpture. I'm constantly looking at the dynamic of this composition as well, and coming into the top portion where I have these beautiful little buds of this larkspur white flower, and applying pressure where I desire to just begin to put the format down, where when I get my blending stump, I'll really grab those darker lines to help me shape what I want. Going into my next phase, I really put pressure here. Now this is the portion that will be very much grabbed by my blending stump. The lighter lines will still as well, but here it's just so much fun for me to put that pressure in. It's actually my favorite part of this whole thing. I mean, blending is really fun, but putting that pressure into these lines and really giving them a strong sense of being on my paper. Up into the little buds. Just gonna kiss it with that charcoal and give those lines a little bit. Let's grab that blending stump and start to draw with it. And not only is this blending stump so good for those shapes and really following my outline of where I've put those darker lines, but it's also wonderful because you can extend just by using it as a pencil. So I'm going to take some of this and kind of make the lines longer, come off of what I've already drawn, fill in some of my gaps. A blending stump is a wonderful tool. And there we go. Just taking those lines off a little bit, going into the paper, making the shapes define themselves a little more by dragging it through. And now with the eraser, I'm going to give it that nice negative position, taking away some of the lines and blending, and allowing this to be more speaking to where the light source is, where those light reflections come. And I'm satisfied. Let's take a closer look. You can see where the little lines have blended in. Some of them still remain. I like to have a little bit of that whimsical feel to my sketches. Thanks so much for joining me today. And as always, I am wishing you happy sketching creations. Have a great day.